ready, we'll give her a shot. Let's see if my sharpness. Nah, my sharpness hasn't moved that much.
200. Thank you, everybody, for joining the show.
And I think what we're seeing on the sharpness appearance is probably the APC, Chris.
The live pics on TV in New Zealand are poop to poop. Let's be careful about our language because we have what could be classrooms of young people watching with us. This is an important event. We don't want to get too far away from being using good words, please. Yes, it may be, but some internet users have their internet use monitored very much so. So we are the monitors of the internet for here. Monitor.
Yeah, and we got to keep in mind, everybody. We definitely, you'd be surprised how many young folks are out there, maybe staying up later than normal to catch a special event as they see it and all. So let's be real cool. No biggie. Just keep that in mind, guys.
Unless you say it 3 times.
I definitely softened it up some, Chris. I think I like that.
Yep. Solid 201.
Thank y'all so much for coming and visiting, folks. Really enjoy the company and the chat and camaraderie and all. So we're having a blast ourselves. I can't believe getting all these compliments. Where we at?
We're right on it. Just splitting it right down the middle.
As soon as it hits 180, we can flip.
This is the best view out of 5 that's been pulled up.
Wow. Nice job, man.
You did it.
Shit, we did it.
We pulled that old ass
Our ass again. Well, you see the crap we were dealing with at first.
200 must be a record. Yahoo. It is for us, man. It kicked our old record into behind.
I can't even believe we're that far ahead.
I think we're going to go farther, too. I think you can get 225, 250. They're going to start counting. They're going to start counting the number now.
Well, cussed. That's a real hard and loaded question. It really depends on what you want to see and just what your budget is. Basically, you can spend anything you want to spend on astronomy. There are some outrageously expensive equipment out there. There's some very basic beginner type equipment. So it really depends on what you want to see. A very basic setup. You're probably going to spend. You're talking a scope and a mount. I'm guessing $400, $500, $600 probably.
If you went to 1300, you'd get a real nice setup that would last you 5, 6, 7 years, because you'd really get a good software, a little better upgraded mount. You have go-to ability. It's going to polar align. It's going to align itself. It's going to have a bigger aperture. This is what you want to remember. Aperture, aperture, aperture. Right, Bob?
Absolutely. You got to keep in mind too. You're trying to look far enough ahead, because what happens if you get a combination that you're happy with initially, you may get tired of it in 3 months. If that's the case, you're going to have to go out and buy another rig. So if you can look a little further ahead, spend a little more, get a little better equipment, maybe you'll be more satisfied for longer. So,
the simple answer for that is Celestron because I have, if I have any knowledge, most knowledge with Celestron equipment, Celestron's got some good equipment for that price that does exactly what I said. And they have this Schmidt Cassegrain telescopes on equatorial mounts. Now, this is the thing about speaking about equipment. Some people believe wholeheartedly that one type of telescope is the best. A Dobsonian, or Schmidt Cassegrain, or a refractor. So everybody might give you a different answer. My answer is, you can spend that on a Schmidt Cassegrain, on an equatorial mount. You could get long exposure times and be having a great experience with your astronomy.
Hi, Kostalik. How are you? Greetings from Greece, it looks like. Super. Glad you're here. And where did I see another post at? Steve R., how are you? I'm glad your kids are up watching. I hope they're having a good time. Alice, how are you? Jim in Georgia. I hear you. I'm getting there.
Well, what should happen is that the sun's light will bend around the Earth, and that's what creates the red wavelength. So the moon has to be in the right position for it to collect these bent red wavelengths. Other than that, it's going to catch shadow. So we're hoping that when it gets in line, in alignment, it'll start receiving those bent red wavelengths of light.
Hi, Clinton. How are you? Very happy you could join us. Okay, guys, we're at Zenith right now, so I'm going to go ahead and freeze this image and do our flip like we talked about earlier. I'll be right back. Freeze, 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 freeze. Okay, we found it. We want to slew to the moon. Where my jungle do out there. And moon, yes.
Well, it was definitely worth doing this broadcast, huh?
Wow. Unbelievable, damn it.
I'm loving it.
I've got to rotate the camera.
It's alright.
Unless nobody cares. There's always somebody who wants the orientation right. It should be close to where it was, though. No, because the camera's going to be 180 degrees different.
Yeah, I see this thing wiggling across.
Do you? Where's that? Oh yeah, there you go. Where did it move to? I don't want to. I better not touch
It's
it.
up over here.
It'll just go off the screen.
It's up above Saturn.
When it gets to it, it'll lock into the red plate where you did the find that.
Bye, Steve. You all be fine. Enjoy.
I keep forgetting my main focus is a little scope, not the big scope.
Oh, yeah, there you are. All right to it.
Now, if I had my finder, I'd line it up before it ever happened. But since we don't, okay, let's do this. Unfreeze. Freeze.
Go outside and peek it. See what we see.
There we go.
That looks beautiful though, doesn't it?
If the orientation doesn't bother anybody, I'm going to leave it right there rather than screwing with the, excuse my French, I'm sorry. If it doesn't bother anybody, I'm going to leave the orientation like it is so I don't have to go back and mess with the focus and all that. If it bothers y'all, I will get up there and change it.
It's not turning red yet, so we're not due to get red yet.
Okay, folks. If it does bother you, just let me know and I'll get up there.
It's just like another different view. Thanks, Clinton.
That was all.
Thank you, Clinton.
Yeah, we just took the opportunity to go ahead and get the flip out of the way, Chris. I was telling everybody if y'all prefer the correct orientation, give me a buzz and I will get up there and change it. Yeah, I wanted to get all that done before we actually got into the penumbra, or the umbra, excuse me.
Okay, so the question is, newbie question, how long are we expecting this to last? So it's supposed to go to 3 a.m. and it is 1:26, so we have about another hour and a half. Or a little bit longer, I might be off. Hour and a half or so.
Chris, would it be better if I brightened it up through my shutter speed and then brought down the brightness to pick up any kind of semblance of the limb? Okay, doke. Because it is very dark where the shadow is now, and I would like to catch the umbra just as fast as possible.
B-Mom, we are on Central Time. We are just 34 miles northwest of Houston, Texas. Right now it's 1:27 a.m. What would be known as -6 UTC. Really is a pretty image of the moon, though. That's really some great shots. Yep, we're in Texas. Yep, Steph, if we went to Kashada, then we'd be halfway to you. Oh my God, you're in Houston also. Thank you, Steve. That looks awesome. I mean, that looks
That's a
awesome.
good-
I can't help it, you know. Toot toot.
That's a good looking image.
Toot toot. Because it's like the sun is shining, you know, it's like...
It reminded me instantly of 2001, if you remember the beginning.
Yes. We need that. We need that. We need that. Where's the what music? Boom.
Does that look eerily like the beginning of 2001? It just struck me. It looked familiar. Oh, we need some music.
Boom. 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 Boom.
Steve says, "Snap a
boom. Boom.
picture high definition, please." I would love to play some music, but I got my hand spanked by Jim Turner, who owns and runs the site. And we're supposed to agree to a lot of the rules that he puts forth when we get our broadcast channels. And I broke the rules and got my hand spanked, which I should have. So I learned my lesson, so we don't play music. If you do, you're supposed to play non-copyrighted type music.
It was all my fault. It was all my fault with the Venus and the Led Zeppelin and the Pink Floyd and all that other
Yeah,
stuff.
you're not supposed to play your typical copyrighted type music you hear on the radio or get from CDs or whatnot, Jason. Well, and from Jim's aspect, I absolutely understand because